What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. I have a full review that I'm doing for you of the Bestech Bahai. I think I'm saying it wrong, but that's okay. We're going to go over this knife anyway. Let's get into it. So what we're going to be doing today with this little guy is we're going to do some specs, size comparisons, and then we'll jump into my thoughts and impressions of the Bestech Bahai. And you're going to want to stick around for this one. It is very interesting, for sure. So the Bestech Bahai has a 2.15 inch 14C 28N Hawkbill blade, 3.09 inch G10 handles, overall length coming in at 5.24 inches, and claim weight is 1.83 ounces. Let's check the weight really quick. So coming in at 1.8, so I am sure that 1.83 is right on the money. For fun, let's do some size comparisons. Let's go ahead and start with the Demco AD 20.5, and we'll bring out, I don't know why it's hanging up on the table there, the Spyderco Shaman. As you can see, very small knife. Let's go ahead and move the AD 20.5 out of the way and bring out the Benchmade Bug Out. We'll move the Shaman out as well and go ahead and bring in the SIG K320 made by Hogue. Again, very apparent that it is a small knife, right? Don't click off just yet, though. For my budget friends out there, here it is against the sub 3-inch Elementum 2 button lock, and we'll bring out the Civivi Praxis for a large size comparison for my budget friends out there. So we're going to go ahead and just skip over the thickness profile. I think we made our point, right? This is a very, very compact package, but it works surprisingly well. Even for large hands, I'm able to get my fourth finger onto the back because I can get that finger in the front choil. And this really feels like something that's going to work really well to cut into your packages, to open boxes. It's going to have a very good pinch grip. Also, if you have like some plants and things like that on the inside, I actually use that to kind of cut away and trim and groom the plants on the inside of the house. This was really good for that because it traps the materials in that hawkbill. It wants to pull everything in so it's not sliding out of the cuts. And sometimes when you're behind leaves and stuff and you don't have a really good view, this is going to work really well for that because it has jimping out here and you're able to get on top of that, and it has a razor sharp edge on it. So it's very, very useful for situations that you wouldn't have thought of. The other thing too, this is going to fit really nicely in the fifth pocket, really nicely inside of some organizers and pouches. So if you're a pouch person and you carry a full-size knife outside of your pouch, this is going to fit in a lot of those pockets. I tested it on my Mighty Pouch Plus and my What a Slider from Data Crew. This fit really well in some of those smaller pockets, which makes this a really great option for something to have to cut string, cut packages open, get into mail, letters, envelopes, packages, things of that nature. Very surprised how comfortable it is. Now, a little bit of a challenge for me with larger hands to flick it, but what I have found is when you actually put your finger here and you have it pointed diagonally, you can really get in there and reverse flick it. Now, the top flipper is a little bit a little bit of a challenge for me to use as well. I have to put it way down in the hand and flip it open like that, but I actually found that for me, the reach around worked best to open this. Access to the lock bar is surprisingly good as well. You can actually get in there very easily no matter how you like to disengage the knife. Also, I feel like for women, this could be really good because the smaller hands, they're able to slow roll it, they're able to pinch grip it open, and they're able to actuate the lock bar. And I'm talking about like my wife women that don't normally handle knives. This is going to be really easy for them to open, to get into. They're going to be able to comfortably pinch this and again get into their packages, cut some loose string off of or thread off of their clothes, things of that nature. This is going to work really well for that. Going to be able to get into, you know, their beauty products or something that's in that super tough plastic. You know what I'm talking about. I still have one of these out here. That super tough plastic that's hard to get into. This is going to work really well because it's going to trap that material. I'm saving that to do a giveaway, so I don't want to cut into that because I have my own that I'm using to test, but just wanted to give an example of that. So I'm not going to really do any alternative recommendations, but ceramic bearings, steel liner lock in here for the lock bar side. G10 scale, I don't think, yep, there is reinforcement with steel liners there. G10 back spacer, and it has some designs to it. And this is an Ostapel design. I meant to mention that as well. But they gave you a good quality steel on here. They gave you a good thin blade to use, like razor sharp. It has a swedge, nice flat ground out here, nice and sharp for you to catch the fingers. T8 in the pivot, T6 hardware. So really good setup for something this small. It is a very interesting knife that I think you can use in a bunch of different ways that I really didn't think about until I started actually trying to challenge myself to use this to see what it's going to be about. Would that replace my daily carry? No. Would it be part of my companion carry? Possibly, depending on how I was carrying it. Again, talking about the organizers and the pouches and things of that nature, I could see it like that. Fifth pocket, it would be up against some stiff competition, but if you wanted something that was very affordable, this would be a really good option because it's coming in at 63 bucks. Now, hear me out. There's things this size that I have spent over $100 for. Of course, they do have M390 more premium steel, so far and above that. And you know, for 63 bucks, you're talking about something like an Element 2 button lock, 14C 28N blade steel, button lock steel. But this might be too big depending on your needs. So I wanted to look at this specifically as like a micro carry, fifth pocket carry, just something that you can keep on you that's discreet, that you really don't want to draw a lot of attention to get into packages. Because I could legit pull this out, get into some packages, and no one would ever know that I had pulled this out to do anything in the office. So it's a very interesting option, and they put a ton of fidget factors out there with this one, and it's just a lot of fun. It has, you know, some character to it. It has some very interesting lines to it. Pocket clip works really well. It goes in and out of the pocket nicely. It's stiff, but it does lift up and let it go into that fifth pocket or your pocket. I did test that, even though for me, I wouldn't main carry this, and for me it'd be more like going into the organizer. But some of the stuff that I tested it on to use at home, like I said, getting into stuff, this worked really well. Now it will be a challenge to sharpen this, so what I would recommend is that you get a ceramic rod and that you use that to just touch up the edge and keep the edge up, or you can use the corner edge of the leather strop to keep that edge going as well, because it will be a challenge to sharpen that recurve blade later on. So that is just my review. I did want to check it out. I thought it'd be interesting. It looked unique. I've never had an Ostapel design before, so I thought this would be fun to check out, to do something a little bit different on the channel and kind of talk a little bit about how I've been using it. Now, build quality is phenomenal. And again, you know, for the wife that has the small pocket or doesn't have a lot of pocket space, or maybe wants something that's not going to take a lot of space in the purse, this is going to be really good for that. And again, good option for those that have pouches and organizers that are a little bit too small to carry their more fuller size knives, and they want something that's going to be able to help them get into a package or something when they're carrying the pouch. It's going to be a really good option for you. All in all though, pretty cool little knife. Up to you if you want to pick that up. I think it's built well, and I think it's interesting enough that I just wanted to check it out. Thanks to everyone out there that regularly watches the videos and supports the channel with the likes, the comments, and being subscribed. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope all of you have a fantastic week, and until next time, peace.